All right, welcome everyone. We are live now. It's Monday evening, and we are working with the last chapter from Practical Work on Cell, The Last Hour of Life. Anyone have anything they would like to share or start off?
I just know I was happy to know we are going to keep working with this chapter because I think there is a lot in it to understand and to also apply in our life. And I don't, so I'll look forward to be more in tune with the chapter. Are we going to read it a little bit again or choose, or what are we going to do? Depend.
We've read it
David?
a couple of times, I think.
Yeah. David, you had an idea. You wanted to work with it also.
Well, I'm very interested to see what people's response to the chapter are, and we can see what the response is.
It's pretty quiet.
It's very quiet. We've been on this chapter for what, 5 weeks now?
Yeah,
Can continue until we die.
That's okay with me. That's okay with me.
We can continue until that. No, David, I insist in participating, but not talking too much. But as no one is participating in, so I am obliged in a way. My feeling this week, my sensation this week, they are very, in some way, controversial, no, paradoxical. And if I open my heart and my ego is, I've seen great people, very important people, on the moment of death become, from the point of view of manhood, crying woman. Oh, I don't want to die. Please don't let me die. And I know that it can happen. It usually happens to all of us in that moment, because we fear that moment. We fear. In my case, I fear the fear, to be ashamed of myself in that moment. But then I realized it's all a construction of the ego. It's in reality, I don't know. It's a book by E.J. that's the death of an ego. The death of an ego. I don't know, but I've seen that title somewhere. So I think about it that in my case, what I fear is not that it's death itself. It's the moment, that the feeling that you lose all you have accumulated, you lose yourself, the ego, the construction. And I tend to believe that we can have an heroic departure, you know. And that is some way it troubles me because for my age, that moment is much more possible than when I was 40 or 50. And that has been some way thinking about it all the week. Well, it's a mixture of feelings, and I assume we all have it. You know, in a way it's comical, and in a way it's tragic. Anyway,
You assume we all have what?
that feeling, a mixture of feelings of, oh, once and for all, let's finish with it. The fear, you know, the fear, the you know, the body doesn't want to end because it's programmed to fight death
Of
until their
course.
last
Yeah.
breath. But also the fear is everywhere, every time, every moment. Mostly when you are old enough to realize that if you look back, mostly all your life is past, and you have no future physically, no. So there is a mixture of feelings.
Yeah. What are those feelings? That's what I'm trying to get to.
I try to convey them. It's a fear of the fear,
Okay.
fear of the fear, and a fight for. I would like to be a hero, you know, fighting with the sword. No, but the 2 or 3 times in my physical life that I've been near to death, I was a bit ashamed because I don't want to die. No, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. And who is that guy?
Well, but that's the guy that we're talking about, right?
Yes.
So like I said last week, like I'm old too, and I go around like I see I went to the store today with my daughter, and I saw like an elderly man, but he was also quite infirm. He didn't seem like physically very strong, right? He didn't feel like he could move and he had a helper with him. I don't know how old he was. He can't be much older than me. I'm 76. So, and I looked at this guy and he can barely move around and looking at where the medicines are and stuff like that. And I looked at him and I thought, well, that's going to be me in a week or two or 5 years, 10 at the maybe, right? I'll be, I'm no longer, I had my hip replaced, so I know what it means to walk on a walker. So will I be the guy that goes into the store on my walker, right? Getting vitamin C. And I looked at the guy and I said, that's me. And so I've reached an age now where I don't just notice the infirm elderly. I recognize that I am that. So then I start thinking like, so whatever it is, so what does it mean that I'm going to die. What happens when I die? This person right here. So there's we understand the lead up to death, right? The moment of death, that clear light would, in some of the literature we have, you go into the clear light for a little over 3 days, right? And so there's the part of me actually physically dying. And there's a phrase around, and I know it's in the ABD, and I don't know exactly, I think it's in several of the chambers. May I be led safely across the dangerous ambush,
Shocking ambush.
the dangerous or shocking ambush of the labyrinth. Okay? There's a few different things, but anyway. So suddenly, there's two parts to this. Suddenly, I will be without my current ego structure. I have a huge ego. Just like, I'm really glad to be me. Right? Like, here I am, I wake up and I'm me. Like I talked about after the surgery, I woke up, I was me again. So there's that part. There's that moment of the shocking ambush of the labyrinth, that I'm suddenly without the body and without the ego structure. And then I'm voyaging into Bardos for 49 days or so, and then something happens, which we'll get to in a minute. Okay. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about I'm dead. Let's say I live another 10 years. I tend to be a pretty healthy guy. I tend not to get sick. I had to have a hip replacement, but I haven't had much. I tend not to get sick. So it's reasonable that might occur, right? No one's answering.
Yes.
But it regardless of the age, David, we talk about 60, 70 years. What about next 60 or 70 years plus from today?
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
about that? I mean, we are just talking about 10, 15 years, but just extend it out to 60 years from today.
So
We all are in our 40s, 30s, whatever, so how many people will be
you're gonna
around?
live another 35 years, Nishant.
No, who said that?
Okay, 36 years. See what it does though? See what that commentary does? It reels in like a fish our mortality. So I have a very short amount of time left. Most of my life is behind me. And this is what you get. Okay. Now, but then it's going to end. Like today, I went out, like I said, I went shopping with my daughter. It's always the delight. We went to a couple of stores, got a few things, talked. We have a really good conversation, a lot of energy. And then I dropped her off at home. That was over. See what I mean? That structure was done. And I can look at that. We were
Died.
together. What's
That
that?
moment, that moment died.
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 Okay.
Died. It is
So,
in your mind and your memory, but the real thing is
okay,
that
there it
it's
is.
died.
I have a memory of it, and a intellectual conception of it.
Yes.
That's easy.
Mm.
Now, when I left her off, I was in the glow of enjoyment of being with another active, alive, intelligent human being. And I reflected on it, right? I reflected on how good it was, which some of the things she said. I in my mind, I judged her for a few things. And then I was like impressed that she had this insight and that insight. Okay. And then here I go. And I was just so glad that I had a daughter of 38 years that I could have that quality of interaction with. So I reviewed it. We were together an hour, I don't know, something like that. So, Nishant has his few years left, and I have less. But what should I do? How do I? Now, Bernie, did you read the Castaneda material at all?
Again, please. Can you?
Carlos Castaneda?
Yes, yes.
Okay. In that tradition, Toltec, Yaqui, all those, they use the term use death as an advisor.
Indeed.
It's riding on your shoulder. I think it is the left, right?
Less. Standing there.
And what would it be like if I could use death as an advisor? Doesn't it, to me, right now, at this exact second, it's exciting to me.
Absolutely.
Because Nishant's right. I'm going to die any minute now or in 10 years. I'm not,
Yeah, that's all of us.
yeah, I know that. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to reel it in to make it like make my consciousness have enough room to absorb that moment too.
Yes. And make use of that
We are
sense.
certain, everybody here is certain, maybe, that you're going to die. Maybe there might be one of you or two of you that maybe not me, but nobody is certain as to the time and method of your particular death.
Hmm.
That's an uncertainty that hovers out there. And we've seen so many instances of like impossible deaths, right? He was so young, he shouldn't have died. Or what happened? How could that have happened?
Ah, oh, impossible. I saw him yesterday. He
I,
was, he was, we were
he's,
talking nicely, and what happened? He died. I don't know. How can that be?
so that's a candle that was blown out. My candle is burning to whatever extent it can burn right now.
I think clear light prayer is very helpful in that sense, because when you say what should I be doing, I think it would be the sensing at that point of time.
But I want to sense into what I call eternality. I live in the eternal as well as the present, don't I? Every moment,
Hmm.
you know. I'm arguing with my neighbor or getting my mail, but then I'm washed in the ocean of the eternal, of the absolute. And I want to hold those with equal weight. And I'm excited right now because I think I'm being offered an opportunity. I'm watching all these old people, and I thought, the nurse, when she was giving me a review of it, she says, "Oh yeah." I said, "Well, how soon can I go to the Briar Patch? That's our local big health food store here." She said, "Oh, you can go the next 2 or 3 days, but you'll need a walker." And I said, "But if I take a walker into the Briar Patch, they'll all think I'm an old man." Oh, wait a minute. So there's what I project as an image, there's what I am as an image, but there's this facing of a certain reality that death offers us that is quite, I just want to say it's quite beautiful. It's a beautiful scene to know that that's there too. And I know I'm speaking with people who are very, very young compared to me.
Well, we are not that young.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Good for you. We can use the moment of this chapter, this chapter 24, let me ask a question. What is your present sense of death? Not the one that you come up with because you read the chapter, but what do you think about it now? I mean, what is it? How does it work in you? It may be too hard to answer that question, but has somebody, what was it like when somebody close, has somebody close to you died, let's say in the last 10 years, 5 years? 10, I think, right, Michelle? Yeah.
Yeah. I think it depends on what relation you had.
Okay.
It's weird, like till now, I always had this thought that I would go healthily. But the moment today, when you talked about
That you would go what?
in a healthy way, like I've seen people around me who are in their 80s and they're healthy, so I thought I'm gonna be that. But for the first time, when you were talking about this old person walking looking for the medicine, and for the first time I pictured myself in
There it
that.
is. That's good. Yeah.
And I never saw myself as that, and for the first time I realized that my hearing could go, my this could go, and suddenly everything, the gravity of it started taking over. Because yeah, I still didn't have the intensity of it because it's just a thought. At some point, despite whatever you try to create, I feel that it's just a thought. But for the first time, I don't know what happened, but I just pictured myself right there when you were talking about it. And yeah, that was kind of
I I'm going to ask it anyway. Is your mother still alive?
yeah.
Where does she live?
India,
When is the last time you saw her?
4 years ago.
Okay. And how much older is she?
She's in her 70s.
So she's like my age.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
If you look at your mother,
I mean, she's 69. She's gonna turn 70, so
oh,
she
she's a
just turned
lot young,
70.
lot younger than me.
Yeah, but yeah, she turned 70.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So you look at your mother, and I mean, that's your gene pool.
Mm,
That's what you're going to look like.
mm.
And, you know, I didn't have that opportunity. I was adopted, as you know, but it's like that's what we're going to look like in 35 years, right? Like I wear glasses to read, and I really need glasses to read, but I've had great eyesight, but the last 2 months my distant eyesight is going. Like I'm in the car and I can't really read those signs, like a quarter of a mile ahead like I used to. It's deteriorating,
Mm.
which is pretty normal, right? I mean, that happens. Thank God my hearing is okay. So this physical vessel into which in my opinion, I incarnated has done a pretty damn good job. So I introduced a topic, I introduced a phrase when I was thinking about this over the last few weeks. How have I curated my life? Do you know this term? To curate,
Yeah.
care for, care for something of value. I mean, there's always the comment, well, yeah, but look at everything you could have done, you should have done. If you'd only done this, here's what you didn't. Yeah, that was really bad. All of that junk. That's junk. Because, like, here I am. I mean, think about this. I tend to be kind of a philosopher, and what am I doing what is this, Monday night? Monday night. But I'm talking with 8 other philosophers, you know, that have kids screaming in the background for joy. It's a joyful sound, Babani. I think I did pretty good to be in this position, right? I'm exercising like the highest interest that I have of myself with people who I respect and I share valued time with. I come together with the highest to meet my friends, to live in the highest, and here I am. So whatever I've done with my life, it's led me to this position. Kind of interesting, huh?
David, you know the meaning of the word conspiracy.
Yeah.
There is the usual black meaning, but conspiracy is conspiras, is to breathe together.
Oh, you're
Conspirar,
right. You're
Spanish.
right.
So we are conspirators here. We come during an hour and breathe together and open somehow our hearts the best we can. We share our thoughts, we share our feelings, we try to help each other. So we are conspirators. And
I love that. That
yes,
is, we
yes,
breathe together.
spiral,
Conspira.
spiral. Today, someone made a notice to me of that we breathe together, and it's
Wow.
very nice idea, like a communion in reality. We commune, huh?
Yeah.
And for an hour we share intimacy. We don't have sex, but we share intimacy in a way.
This is Total social intimacy, no question
Yes,
about it.
of course. Um, and you know, the the sense, maybe I can convey a sense that I tend to feel, the feeling of aloneness, because when you we know that when you come the first time crying to this life planet or whatever, we come crying and we leave crying, and we are alone in those moments because no one can take our place.
Yeah.
So it is a part of, at least in my case, I said in the beginning of this, sense of shame. It's the masculinity, that we men have. Oh, I'll be tough like John Wayne. But I know, I've seen, and I had experienced in those moments, the last minutes that you feel that you can end your life. You are what you should call sissy, and I know I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed. I shamed to that feeling, and I fear that feeling. And I say, well, will I be fearing all my life until I die? Ah, what a loss. So I know, I know if the people that are suicide look for finishing, because there are many. I don't know if you noticed these last years, at least in the there are many more suicides than other years. I've seen statistics, but there's an interesting thing that I thought about because I've read about it. That when there is a war, there is a war, the suicide statistics go down on the line that why kill myself when I can kill another one? It's
Oh
it's
boy.
yes, it's a human nature, guys. It's a human nature. So it has a tragic comic. This we are talking about. It has some dark and bright side.
Do you have something that you're gonna what is the last line you're gonna say when you die, Bernie?
I'm not dying. No,
Oh
I know,
boy.
I know. But I would. It would be funny to bring for the next time a list of what you called what you put in your epitaph. Is the word, no? Epitaph? Epitaph.
Yeah,
Is that
but
the word?
there are I think there are websites that capture that.
Yes.
Let's see.
I'm not here. I'm not here, for example. I haven't died. Show me the money. We don't know. Well,
So yeah, it'd be interesting. What would that sentence be?
well, ask the group, David. The
I'm
group.
asking you, I'm asking everybody, but
Yes, yes.
a lot
Please,
of people may not want to answer.
come
You
on.
can change it too, because if you might have more than a year to live, so you might want to change it, but
I guess I would say, oh, I pressed the wrong button.
Ah,
okay,
that's a good one.
that's good. Every year since even before she could read, I've given a birthday card to my daughter. And the last line of every single birthday card for 38 years is, "This has been the best year so far."
Very nice.
I hope to be able to say that as the lights go out. Who would you want to be with you? Let's pretend for a minute that you're going to have a natural death and you can die at home and you're not like crushed under the wheels of a semi truck. You're going to die at home, but you're dying. Who would you like to have in your room with you there? Nobody?
I think it's better to be alone, right? At that time.
Yeah, that's what I felt.
You
I
like to
don't
be alone?
imagine. Yeah, I don't imagine anyone around me.
You know, there are a lot of cases where the family's taking care of the elderly and their mother or whatever it is, right? And let's say that the mother is watching the dying father or something like that, and she goes out of the room for a moment, she comes back and he's dead. That's fairly common. So people want to exit by themselves.
I think that would be better. If
That would be
people are
better.
around, yeah, if people are around, who knows? The affection of them or theirs will make you come back again, not let you go easily.
I think I have a very sour feeling of that because I remember I saw my grandma pass away, and that was my first ever death experience. And my dad woke me up in the middle of the night. It was like 4 a.m. or something. And it was at that phase that she was going to pass away any day, but she was on her deathbed. And then my parents used to sleep with her every night, just to make sure she's okay. And when her the breathing and everything started, he sensed it and he called me. And I remember that in India you start doing the Bhagavad Gita, so you start singing the shlokas. So my mom was constantly doing that. If she had to take a break, my dad will continue from what. And then my mom told me to give this the Ganga Jal, which is the water from the Ganges River, and that is considered extremely pure. So when you're passing away, you give that to the grandma. But I remember that when I was giving it to her, I felt like she did not want it, and I was giving it to her while she was having it. And I kind of felt that uneasiness in her, and I wanted to stop, but I remember like somebody told me, from the back that no, keep doing it. And I felt that she didn't want it. And that image has stuck with me till now.
Okay, very important point. How were you giving it to her? Like in a
Through her
glass?
mouth.
But I mean, did you
No,
have
with a spoon, with a baby spoon. It's a
good?
silver spoon.
Yeah.
So I was slowly giving it, but I remember that I think she wanted to pass away with the breath outside. Like I think she wanted that gap. And I kind of felt I had to stop. I was just so little. I was not even in my high school, but I got that deep feeling that she wanted me to stop, but somebody told me to give it. So you just follow orders because you don't know that, but something deep in me just knew. And then in like 15 20 minutes, I think she just left her body and it went out through the, poop or something.
Yeah.
No, it was
Oh,
from down there. And I remember that somebody said that, it's better if it goes out from the mouth or somewhere from the top part. And then till now, I've kind of had that feeling in me that I should have stopped when I felt like it, and I shouldn't have listened. But that feeling has stuck with me. So since then, I've got this feeling that I want nobody to be there. Like it doesn't matter of anything reading or this or that. So
can you type into the chat what it is you said that everybody reads? You read
the Gita, Bhagavad Gita.
just straight from the Bhagavad Gita?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really? Like just chapter 1?
I think there's a specific one for the death. I think it's number 2, chapter 2 or something. But chapter 2 or 11, I'm not that sure. But it was one of the chapters that you read.
Okay, good. I'll look that up.
Yeah.
2 or 11.
Yeah. But it could be another one. You like.
I'll look it up, but it's something on it. It is on death, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember my grandfather passed away when nobody was around. He just had a mango shake, which is his favorite, and his diabetes level just dropped that same day. So he's like, oh, my diabetes has dropped. I'm just going to have the mango, like the mango juice. And it's kind of a mango puree that you have with your food. And he had that, and within an hour or so, he was gone. So he had like his best favorite items before he passed away. But another incident has happened in the ashram where after that, that was the third death I've seen, which was of someone extremely close to me, the one who actually introduced EJ to me. So I think he had come met EJ too, and yeah. So, but he passed away like he was in his 70s, and I remember he wanted to say something to me, and he was pointing at me, and I felt he wanted to apologize for something, and I sensed it, and I wanted to tell him it's okay. But at the same time, I just remember he wanted to try to talk to me, and there was somebody else who held his hand because I was not sitting next to him, I was standing, and he looks at me and he's pointing at me, and I don't know what he's trying to say, but I kind of sensed what he was trying to say. But somebody else held his hand and then he left his body. So for me, like those moments, I feel like there's something that I've been there, and I feel like I've been there in that, the kind of a mess where I feel people have not been able to pass away peacefully. So, yeah.
Very common. He may have wanted to speak a regret that he had
Yeah.
in something in relation to you,
Yeah.
and he may not have been able to speak or couldn't do it because other people were there or whatever, but he wanted to finish something,
Yeah.
Now, when he actually died, were you in the room with him and your grandmother?
No, he was in the ashram, so it was the ashramites. The third person was my friend, actually. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he was like a reading partner. So he was connected to the ashram. So he was the one who introduced all of this to me. So
Were you in the room when he
yeah.
died?
Yeah.
Okay. When he died and you noticed that he died, what was your response? And I asked this of everybody in the group, okay?
My first response was my first thought was it's okay. But at the same time, I was kind of scared of death in general. that I was scared to touch him. Like, I kind of felt I wanted to console him, but at the same time, I was scared. So I don't know what that feeling was, but uh, like he looked at me. I know he wanted me next to him, but I still stood there. Like it was just 5, 10 seconds, you know.
Yeah.
It was just that, and we had this brief like eye to eye contact. I exactly felt what he felt. I could sense what he's trying to tell me. I was trying to tell him it's okay. But I also noticed that he wanted me to sit next to him. Like I kind of felt that he just wanted to kind of hold my hand to apologize in a way, you know. And I just was too scared to go close to him. I don't know what happened, but I just stood there, and he just went on pointing at me. And then Tarun uncle, like it was some other person who was there, and he just held his hand. And the moment he held his hand, he just left his body, like he closed his eyes, you know. So yeah.
I mean, what a strong mark both of those were with both with your grandmother and with this individual.
Mm.
It's left a strong mark of high level awakeness in you. You were very awake when those things occurred, and you remember them very graphically today,
Mm.
which is beautiful. I mean, you have to think of that too. Like that left a mark on your whole life,
Mm.
right? It was like a little signal that got stuck there. So this chapter helps us begin to actually think about these things. Okay. It's not a passive chapter. It's gives us a chance to actually think about the people have died around us. What is it like? What do you think about it? What's going to happen when you die? You know, what's the story? There's a story we have in our own minds. And I'm just saying that the invitation on this chapter is to bring it into real life. And you know, you'll if I last another 2 or 3 or 4 years, you know, I really want to engage death as an advisor. I love that phraseology from the Yakis. You know, those little crazy guys, you
But
know.
what does that mean as an advisor? I still don't get that.
Well, I don't know either. I'm not saying that I know what it means yet, but there's something about it. I don't want to be afraid of it. I want it to be a partner with me. I want to work with it, you know. Um, so that's my exploration is to see, well, what is meant by that? You know, death as an advisor, because it is definitely there, not today.
David, I'm a fan of movies, you know,
Yes, me too.
and I like when I see a movie, I in the first 10 minutes I realize if the script, el guión, in Spanish, the script is a good one. Is it I'm going to waste my precious time on it or stop it, whatever. And you know, I always uh, realized that if in that film, in that story, because in reality it's a story, if death makes the story interesting, you know, death,
Hmm.
death, not violence, death makes the story worthwhile because there is a there's something that is very important happening, and I think I share this because somehow I get what you mean as an advisor because it just the death brings a perspective of life in a way. in the case of we people that are old, we realize that we don't have time to lose in stupidity, because life is precious, and you don't want to lose time in stupid things, stupid talking, or blah blah blah. So in a way, the notion of finitude is a help. That is what I
Yeah.
mean.
This is an aside, Bernie, but I'd love to hear, send the group your favorite movies. We can all enjoy that, but not for this meeting. Yeah. So I think that Nishant is right.
In what way?
Nishant, this is when you turn your mic on and you say, yeah, I know, but in what topic? So the first couple of lines of the Clear Light Prayer are now. What a powerful, if you're in the right mood, now I am experiencing the clear light of objective reality. Boom, right? All of us have done readings that puts us in that special space. I love being in that space when I'm doing the most mundane things, when I'm trying to see what's going on with my kids' teeth. Can I be in that clear light, objective reality? Then I think a couple of things happen. One, it enhances my life, but it gives the absolute a channel to watch what's going on. Who knows if the big guy has TV?
With multiple screens.
Right? Oh boy, that's woo. Just 8 billion of them.
Hmm.
So I don't know what you want to do with it. I mean, there's a lot. It's not a bad topic to keep on if you would like to keep working on it. I know that it's something that I'm working on all the time. The concept of this chapter, The Last Hour of Life, bringing into mind, how can I make death into an advisor? What will it be like on my deathbed? Who will be in that room, if anybody? What music will be playing, other than All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix? Okay. And isn't that all that EJ's doing over and over again in 1,000 ways, giving us opportunities to self-reflect? And this is a good one, I think. It's a good meal for each of us to eat.
David, where did you read about the death as an advisor? Like, is there
Okay.
a koan or something?
No. So there's a writer called Carlos Castaneda,
Okay. Yeah.
and he developed a series of 5 or 6 books on the Yaqui Indian tribal, basically seeing the absolute and the other world. And it's very brilliant. And that's a phrase that came out of there,
Okay.
to accept death as an advisor. Yes, Alka. Alka says death as the
Beautiful.
great equalizer. Yeah, right.
All right, so we come back to this topic again next week. Yeah,
Yes.
everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, I hear nods. I see nods and I hear yes. Okay.
Thank you, Nikhil, for leading us on those. And are you home, Nishant? Are you home or at work?
No, home.
Okay. I thought you were working nights now.
Well, I was working that other night.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome back home. Good
No,
seeing
there was
everybody.
a bird that entered our house. So I was
A
sitting
bird.
outside. So yeah, so it can come out. And
Oh, I see.
Is it still in there, Nishant?
I think it is gone. I
Okay.
don't see it anymore.
All right.
All
Bye.
right.
See you
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Bye,
See you guys next
everybody.